Welcome to Weapon Blueprint, the weekly series where I, gasoline based, take you through every weapon in TF2 and put them up for review for your pleasure. In other words, we're taking a look at the red tape recorder. This video consists of 3 sections. The first section covers the history of the weapon, both in the real world as well as in the TF2 universe, and the appearance of the weapon, often related to the history of it. The second section talks about the stats and gameplay mechanics that the weapon provides. There will be made comparisons with both stock weapons and other unlocks, as well as in-depth analysis of the damage and timers that the weapon provides. The third section opens discussion about beneficial strategies using the weapon, featuring gameplay of the weapon itself. This section is open to discussion as I can only speak my own opinion, so feel free to express your opinion in the comment section below the video. The red tape recorder is a building for the spy, and it's equipped in the secondary slot, replacing the stock sapper. It is the only building unlock available for the spy that is not the stock weapon or a stock reskin. The sapper is a reel-to-reel audio tape recorder, which was a device used for recording and playing back audio introduced in the 1920s. The name is a reference to the term red tape, which is a way of representing bureaucracy, hindering action or decision making. The sapper was introduced in the Asian-themed trial pack in the trial update with the release of Sleeping Dogs, and it was awarded in genuine quality to everyone who pre-ordered the game, as well as with Huolong Heater and the Guillotine and all the weapons available. It was quickly and heavily nerfed just a single day after, almost doubling the sapper time from 1.6 seconds to 3 seconds, and the bug was fixed on May the 15th, allowing the sapper to increase the health of a sentry. The sapper has a unique sapper sound that differs from the stock sapper, and they include a short message that says, "Let's make some noise." It's possible to hear these sounds if you slow down the sound by around 75%. The red tape recorder is much different from the sapper. Instead of damaging the engineer's buildings, it starts to downgrade them. The sapping times for the stock sapper are, for level 1, 6 seconds, level 2, 7.2 seconds, level 3, 8.64 seconds, and for a mini-sentry it's 4 seconds, with around 25 damage per second rate. In comparisons, the timers for the red tape recorder are, per downgrade, 3 seconds, the level 1, 10.7 seconds, and a mini 10.5 seconds. So that means the level 3 will be 10.7 seconds plus 2 times 3 seconds, which is 16.7 seconds, with around 14 damage per second rates, which is almost half of the sapper. It does take longer to destroy a sentry with the red tape recorder than with the sapper. However, if the engineer removes the sapper, it's easy to get the building to the previous state. Whereas if you use the red tape recorder, it may take longer to fully destroy a sentry, but if the engineer removed the sapper after waiting just a few moments, it will take 200 metal for each level lost to get it back to the previous state it was in. This allows the spy to weaken the sentry before the team goes in, which can be useful, especially if the pushing classes on the spy teams are low in numbers. Pups will love spies and snipers. If, however, the spy team had a lot of strong classes like demomen, heavies, and soldiers, it's better to equip the sapper, as the spy can then assist in taking down the sentry very fast. This means that the sapper should almost never be used in competitive Highlander, as there is a good communication and ensured strong classes. This sapper is not usually as useful to standard sentries as the regular sapper is. However, if you do meet an engineer using the gunslinger, he is in big trouble. The long sap time to minis might seem like a downside, but it actually is great for minis. When you're sapping a mini, you render the engineer able to destroy it and to spam a new one, and he has to wait 10.4 seconds to build a new one, or move to the center and remove the sapper. This makes the sapper great on defense and ideal for minis, but pretty much a downgrade most of the time in offense and neutral games. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Weapon Inspection. I would like your help to pick next week's weapon. Click on the weapon you would like, and the one that gets the most votes will be featured in the next week's episode. That's all for now. If you want to be notified when the new episode is out, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Gasoline Based.